What does it say about a country when a famous man, surrounded by people, in the middle of a city, can be executed so easily? When the police know who did it, and yet we all hold our breath, waiting to see if they will actually do their job. They told us to wait, to be patient, to trust the process. But patience is the currency of the powerless, and the process has failed us too many times. Now, the script has flipped. For the first time since the bullets that killed DJ Warass tore through the Johannesburg air, we are not being told to wait. We are being told an arrest is coming. Before Monday. This is not the usual hollow promise. This is a specific, public, and dangerously timed declaration from the National Police Commissioner himself. It changes everything. It confirms the chilling suspicion that settled over the nation the moment the news broke. This was a hit. A professional, calculated, and brazen silencing. Think about that word, a hit. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. It requires motive, planning, money, and a cold confidence that the law is either too slow or too compromised to matter. When Commissioner Fanny Masamola steps to the podium and names a deadline, he isn't just updating a case file. He is admitting, without saying the words, that DJ Warass was killed for a reason that fits a sickeningly familiar South African pattern. Let's be clear about who Warras was. He was not just a voice on the radio or a face on TV. He was a businessman operating in the shadows of the city, in the arena of inner-city property security. His company was contracted to secure the Zambesi building, an 8-story block in the very heart of the Johannesburg CBD. This detail is the key that unlocks the entire tragedy. In these buildings, the law is not written by Parliament. It is written by syndicates. It is enforced by intimidation. Rent is stolen, utilities are hijacked, and people live in fear. Anyone who comes in to reclaim order, to restore legal ownership, is not just providing a service. They are declaring war on a criminal economy worth millions. Tell me in the comments, have you ever felt that certain parts of your own city are simply no-go zones, controlled by something other than the police? The police confirmed there was no robbery. Warras had his own firearm. There was no struggle. The shooter approached, fired, and left. This was an execution. CCTV footage shows a man, described as a short African male with dreadlocks, walking up to the vehicle. Another figure in what looks like a security uniform was nearby. Coordination. A team. This was not a crime of passion. It was a corporate elimination. And now, the police say the suspect is known. Known to whom? Known to the system? Known to the very networks that operate in those buildings? This raises a question that should make your blood boil. If he is known, why is he still walking free? Is he known because he has a file, or because he has protection? The authorities say they are waiting for the right moment over the weekend. But South Africans have heard these timelines before. We have seen confidence evaporate once the media spotlight dims. This promise, therefore, is a litmus test for the entire justice system. Do you believe the arrest will actually happen before Monday, or is this another performance for the cameras? DJ Warass knew he was in danger. He had protection orders against multiple individuals. A senior city official stated on record that he believes a price was put on Warrass's head for his work reclaiming buildings. This man was shouting his fears into the system, and the system could not, or would not, build a wall around him. So the picture becomes devastatingly clear. This murder was about power. It was about money. It was about sending a message to anyone else who would dare to disrupt the shadow economies of our urban centers. If a man with his profile, his resources, and his public voice can be gunned down in broad daylight, what hope is there for the ordinary landlord, the honest building manager, the tenant who just wants a safe home? The commissioner has dismissed talk of parallel investigations, insisting on unity between police and Metro. But trust is shattered glass. The public doesn't want to hear about cooperation. They want to see handcuffs. They want to see a suspect in the dock. They want to see the machinery of the state work, for once, with the speed and precision of the criminals it claims to pursue. This places an unbearable pressure on the next 48 hours. If Monday arrives without an arrest, the last shred of credibility in this promise will be gone. What will you do if that happens? Will you just shrug because you expected nothing more? At his memorial, his family spoke of his roar, not his whisper. His sons spoke of a protector. Now, we are all bystanders, watching to see if that protector will receive protection from the state he paid taxes to. Will his death be a file number or a turning point? The timing of this announcement is deeply political. It comes during the police's safer festive season operations. This is a public relations move designed to project strength and control. But it is a high-stakes gamble. Using a murder case as a PR tool is dangerous. It turns justice into a spectacle. Do you feel that high-profile cases are used to distract from the daily, untelevised violence in your community? An arrest, if it comes, is only the beginning. The real test lies in the questions that must follow. Who paid for the bullet? Who gave the order? Who provided the whereabouts? Who stood as a lookout? Hits are chains of command, and the triggerman is almost always the cheapest link. Will the investigation have the courage to follow the chain, even if it leads into boardrooms, municipal offices, or police stations themselves? DJ Warass's murder has ripped a hole in the fragile facade of order. It has shown us that violence is the primary tool of negotiation in certain sectors. It has shown us that speaking truth, doing honest business, and challenging criminal power is a potentially lethal occupation. Is this the South Africa we are building? A place where ambition and integrity require a life insurance policy? The promise has been made. Before Monday. These words are now etched in the public consciousness. Justice delayed is justice denied, but a promise broken after such a public declaration is something worse. It is proof of absolute impunity. It is the state telling you it does not fear failure because there are no consequences for its empty words. So we watch. We wait, again, but this wait is different. It is a tense, angry vigil. We are waiting to see which South Africa shows up on Monday morning. The one where the law can still, occasionally, catch up to power? Or the one we have grown to fear, where shadows move faster than justice, and where roaring truths are always silenced by gunfire?
His voice is gone.
What happens next will either honor that voice or spit on its memory. The clock is ticking. The world is watching. And by Monday, we will all have our answer. What do you think that answer will be? Tell me below, and share this video. Let's see how many people are still willing to believe in promises.